Good morning, students. Today we shall learn about motion of center of mass. Yesterday we have solved enough number of problems on position of center of mass, finding the location of center of mass. Now the next important thing is the motion of center of mass. By definition, we have come to know the position vector of center of mass given by let us consider center of mass of a system of n particles. Position vector of center of mass of system of n particles. It is given by vector r is equal to m1 r1 vector plus m2 r2 vector plus and so on up to mn rn vector divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3 and so on up to mn for system of n particles. Same thing can be written in a short notation as mi ri vector divided by capital M. Summation of all the masses gives us total mass M, where total mass M is the mass of the entire system of n particles. Now if you take this M to the left hand side, we get M R vector equal to summation of Mi Ri vector, that is I equal to 1 up to n. I equal to 1 up to n. It implies m1 r1 vector plus m2 r2 vector plus and so on up to mn rn. Suppose this system of particles is under motion. Then if you differentiate this with respect to time t, we get dr by dt as velocity. To study the motion, differentiating with respect to time t. If we differentiate this with respect to time t, then we get m dr by dt left hand side, where m is the total mass of the entire system of n particles. That is also going to be the mass of center of mass, into dr by dt gives us differentiate these terms m1 dr1 by dt plus m2 dr2 vector by dt plus m3 dr3 by dt and so on up to n particle mn drn by dt, where dr1 by dt is the velocity of first particle, dr2 by dt is the velocity of second particle and so on, where dr1 by dt is equal to v1 by 2, velocity of first particle. First particle of mass m1. Similarly, dr2 by dt equal to v2 vector is the velocity of second particle. Like that, dr by dt gives us velocity of center of mass. dr by dt gives us velocity vector of center of mass. Velocity vector of center of mass. So that gives us mv vector equal to m1 v v1 plus m2 v2 and so on up to mn vn. Now we'll write this. This implies same equation I am continuing. M v vector is equal to m1 v1 vector plus m2 v2 vector plus and so on up to mn vn vector. So mv, mv gives you total momentum of the system of n particles. Same thing can be even applicable to rigid body consisting of n particles. So total momentum of the system of n particles is product of mass of center of mass and velocity of center of mass. The product of mass and velocity of center of mass is equal to sum of the momenta of the individual particles. And you see these momenta are the vector quantities, vector sum of all the momenta. This is equation for momentum of the system of n particles. So we can write p vector equal to p1 vector plus p2 vector and so on up to pn vn. Up to pn, where you can write here p1 is momentum of first particle m1 v1, p2 is momentum of second particle m2 v2, and p is momentum of center of mass, momentum of entire rigid body or momentum of system of n particles m v. Now if you differentiate this once again, we get rate of change of velocity or rate of change of momentum. Rate of change of velocity gives us acceleration. Rate of change of momentum gives us force. Let us differentiate this above equation. With respect to time t again. With respect to time t again. Keeping m constant, dv by dt. So definitely this gives us acceleration. Rate of change of velocity is equal to m1 dv1 by dt plus m2 dv2 by dt plus and so on mn dvn by dt, where dv1 by dt is acceleration a1 of first particle. Acceleration a1 of first particle. dv2 by dt gives us acceleration vector a2 of second particle. So similarly, capital capital V by dt gives us, I will write purposely capital acceleration, where capital acceleration, capital A vector represents the acceleration of the center of mass. Acceleration of center of mass. As we got here, dv by dt, velocity of dr by dt as a velocity vector v, velocity of center of mass. In the same way, dv by dt gives us acceleration vector, that is acceleration of center of mass. Now we will summarize this. What is the meaning of this complete equation? M into A equal to M1 A1 plus M2 A2 plus and so on up to Mn An. And we know what is M into A. M into A gives us force. So let us conclude it. So substituting these values, we get m dv by dt, m into vector A, that is going to be total force. Product of MA gives us total force, that is by using Newton's second law, equal to m1 A1 vector plus m2 A2 vector plus m3 A3 vector plus and so on mn an vector. So this, if you look at it using Newton's second law, we have F equal to ma. So this implies if F1 is the force acting on first particle, so m into A vector I will write it as force F1, that is for the first particle, force F2 vector acting on the second particle, force F3 vector that is acting on the third particle, so on up to force Fn vector acting on the nth particle. So the left hand side gives you force acting on the center of mass. So the force acting on the center of mass is going to be external force. When there is an external force acting on a rigid body, then the body undergoes accelerated motion. The body undergoes acceleration. So that is going to be the sum of the vector sum of all the forces acting on all the individual particles. Therefore, ma, if I just substitute as F external, then this implies F external acting on the entire system of n particles or entire rigid body consisting of n particles. F external is equal to F1 vector plus F2 vector plus F3 vector and so on up to Fn vectors. So vector sum of all the forces acting on all the particles is equal to the total external force acting on the center of mass. That is the meaning of this equation. So total force acting on the center of mass is equal to vector sum of all the forces acting on all the particles. So I will write here. So total external force on center of mass is equal to vector sum of all the forces acting on individual particles, where we have considered a system of n particles. Now, one more thing you need to understand. Whenever there is a system of n number of particles, whenever the system is under motion or accelerated motion, then there will be interaction among the particles themselves. So, if you consider pairs of particles, first and second one, third and fourth one, fifth and sixth one, if you consider any pair of particles, there will be internal forces existing between the pair of particles. But according to Newton's third law, these internal forces are equal and opposite. See, if F12 is the force on 1 due to second particle, then force on 1 due to second particle is equal and opposite to force on 2 due to first particle, according to Newton's third law. Therefore, even though internal forces exist in the system of n particles, these internal forces cancel each other. So, only the external force, if impact of external force is observed. Although internal forces exist in the system of n number of particles, the net internal force cancel each other. The net internal force becomes 0. According to Newton's third law. If F12 is the force on 1 due to 2, it is exactly equal to force on 2 due to 1. These are interactive internal forces. Internal forces. So like this, if you consider so many number of pairs of particles in the system of n number of particles, then the interactive internal forces, they cancel each other. Therefore, net internal force becomes 0 because of Newton's third law. So, impact of only external force is observed whenever there is a motion of system of n particles, or there is a motion of a rigid body consisting of n number of particles. That is the meaning of this entire discussion. So, impact of internal force is 0. It means internal forces do exist, but according to Newton's third law, because of interactive internal forces, F12 is equal to minus of F21. For every action, there is an equivalent opposite reaction. So, net internal force becomes 0. Total internal force becomes 0. So, we have written here only external force. Therefore, we have written this one as the equation for center of mass. So, it means if there is a force acting on center of mass, then external force acting on center of mass is equal to product of mass of the entire body and the acceleration of center of mass, which is also equal to vector sum of all the forces acting on all the individual particles. When an external force acts on the system of n particles, then each particle experience different force. F1 for first particle, F2 for second particle, F3 for third particle, and so on. But the total force acting on the center of mass is total external force acting on the center of mass is equal to vector sum of all the forces acting individually on the particles. That is the meaning of this equation. Okay. Now let us consider one example, meaning of internal forces and how do the internal forces cancel each other. Consider one example. This is a projectile which is thrown into the air or which is projected into the air and explodes like a cracker. When it explodes, you see the particles are blasted in all possible directions. But what happens? One particular point of this cracker, one particular point of this projectile continues to move in the same expected path, and that is the center of mass. That center of mass is the center of mass of all the fragments after explosion. Before explosion, the center of mass is undergoing the expected projectile paths. Even after the explosion, even though you see it blasts into so many fragments, you must have seen the beautiful, colorful display into the night sky when the projectile is exploded. You must have enjoyed it. But when you observe one particular particle that may be having a position there, that may be having a spark there or may not be, one particular point continue to move with that expected projectile, and all these fragments which were thrown out is the center of mass of all these fragments is again going to be exactly the center, and it undergoes the expected projectile path. That is the meaning of center of mass. And the reason for this explosion is the internal forces. The internal forces. The only external force acting over here is the gravitational force. The gravitational force is always acting vertically downwards. Because of gravitational force only, it undergoes projectile path. It undergoes a projectile parabolic path. But internal forces, internal interactive forces lead to explosion. But when you calculate, if you consider one particle here, there will be another particle exactly symmetrically on the opposite side, which will be exerted with the same equivalent opposite force. If you consider one particle here, which is moving in this direction, there will be exactly another particle in the opposite direction, which will be experiencing equivalent opposite force. So in this way, even though you are observing the interactive internal forces which are leading to the explosion, the blast, but the net internal force, if you calculate F12 plus F21, it becomes 0. F34 plus F43, it becomes 0. So the net internal force becomes 0. So the center of mass moves as if it is acted upon by the external force only. That's how we define center of mass as that mass of the system of n particles which moves as if it is having the entire mass at its center of mass, and the entire external force acting on all the particles is equal to the force acting on the center of mass. That's how we define finally what is center of mass. So the center of mass of a system of particles moves as if the center of mass of system of particles when it is in motion, the center of mass of system of particles moves as if the entire mass of the system is concentrated at that point of center of mass, and as if all the forces acting on all the particles, that is vector sum of all the forces acting on all the individual particles is acting at that point, as if all the forces acting on all the particles is acting at that point of center of mass as net external force. This is the meaning of center of mass. So in the next session we will study about linear momentum of a system of particles and conservation of linear momentum. So that will be interesting. Thank you. Have a nice day.